Welcome, everyone. I am Chris Gore. I am live. I'm live from it. I'm trying to adjust the volume here. I am live from the Drunken Dragon Hotel, actually, technically speaking, the Omni, here in Atlanta, Georgia. I am here for DragonCon. I am dressed appropriately. And by the way, this is it comes with a pair of shorts. Here, there you go. All right, that's the last you'll see of that. If you know, you know. This is the pattern of the Marriott carpet from DragonCon. It was infamous, and I am wearing an outfit befitting of someone attending DragonCon. But today, we're talking movies, all right? We're talking The Equalizer 3 with Denzel Washington, Golda, Slotherhouse, and we'll be interviewing the filmmakers from a movie called Don't Look Away. In addition, the DVD and digital release of the Metalocalypse movie. I can't wait to talk about that. I have something very special to share related to that. So much going on today. Alan is waiting in the wings with a new microphone. Does Alan sound better? We'll see. I don't know. I'm just on my laptop in a hotel room here. Lots to discuss. Your comments and questions. I'm going to be addressing it all. Cannot wait. Let's kick it off. Let's get things started. Let's go here on the Friday Film Threat Livecast. Typical, no Alan at all. I'm going to tickle you with my lightsaber. There he is.
Alan. All right, that was a good one.
Hey, okay, for a moment to hear how Alan.
I know, just kind of embrace it, kind of bathe in the sound.
Oh my God, you can be doing ASMR videos, Alan, with this new setup.
May the force be with you.
I love it. That's great. You need a set of those cans, on your head microphone.
I know. I'm debating that. And also, hey, I have a soundboard. It's a trap.
Oh no, you're gonna be like, oh my God. Getting a soundboard is like when I was a kid and we used to have like this cassette recorder and we would record radio stations. We record I'm gonna be honest, we would record our own farts. Now I was probably like 9 years old. So these are the kind of dumb things that kids think to do. But I don't know. I hope I'm looking good and sounding good. I mean, I'm in a setup in a hotel room, did the best I could to kind of set it up so you could see me and hear me. But we've got a lot to discuss. Let's see who is in the chat. Let's see. James Jennings just became a YouTube member. Awesome. Thank you so much. Check out the members only tab and join us on Discord where you can talk to Alan and I. Let's see. Oh my God. Holy cow. Okay.
Hey.
Yorozuya, who's a member for $100, says, ciao, another exciting Friday stream to mend my workday. Always good to listen to your shows every week and appreciate everything you do. Just curious, what do you want for your birthday? Oh, wait. My birthday's next week. A lot of YouTubers like to make a big deal about their birthday. I do not.
Yes.
I will not. I'm going to announce it now. I am not doing a birthday stream.
Yes. Wednesday's broadcast will not be a birthday stream.
Right. Yes.
It will absolutely not be a birthday stream.
So let's see. Just what do you want for your birthday? I plan to buy it for myself and brag. Have a good stream. Have a good weekend. Well, thank you, Yorozuya. That is incredibly generous. I'll say this. I would probably buy myself the boxed set. There's a deluxe set. I think it's from Germany of the 4K Dune, which includes multiple versions of David Lynch's Dune. I've seen it. That and Flash Gordon are like the two I have them on my wish list for Amazon. And there you go. But yeah, I don't make a big deal about my birthday at all. I know a lot of people talk about this is mostly a females. They'll go, this is my birthday month. This is my birthday week. This is my birthday weekend. You get one birthday. That's it. You get it. And I agree with Pat Oswalt on this, whatever you think of Pat Oswalt. He has a bit about birthdays where he says basically you only get a certain number of birthdays. 1 through 10, you get a birthday, right? And then 11 through 13, you get a birthday. Because when you're a kid, birthdays matter. And then no birthdays, 14, 15, no birthday. Then 16 is an important birthday because you get your driver's license. 18 is an important birthday because you can vote. 21 is important because you can drink. And then after that, you only celebrate decades, 20, 30, 40, 50, all of that. So there you go. I'm just not a big, I know, like, I can't believe how many YouTubers are like, it's my birthday. And these are like adult men. I don't understand it. Like, you know what? It's my birthday. Buy me a drink. Cool. Moving on.
That's just shows you how old we are. I mean,
what's that?
Just shows you how old we are. Birthday's just.
That's exactly it.
That's not exactly it. It's more of a hassle trying to get people.
Yeah. It's sort of like, but thank you, Yorazuya. That's awesome. And
so Wednesday stream will not be a birthday stream.
New revenue stream for Alan ASMR. Possibly. And from Rumble here, the Equalizer 3
comment
is using, oh wait, I'm going to save the Equalizer stuff. Save that for later. Okay. Party at Yard House in Pasadena, Chris, says JTPRX. Fine. I'm going to go to Yard House. No, I'm probably going to go to the 35er. I'll go to the 35er. And there you go. I like the 35 or the Dirty Diver. The Yard House is good as well. It's right across from the newly opened Regal. We got a lot of movies to discuss. So let's, the Introspect M. I'm in the area, but unfortunately won't be able to make it down to see Chris at DragonCon or the bar, though hopefully one day. That's cool.
By the way, have you run into Bobby or Brad by any chance? Have you run into Bobby or Brad by any chance?
I am seeing them either tonight or tomorrow. Bobby Lapierre, who is one of our amazing writers for Film Threat. He's incredibly prolific, along with Bradley Gibson, also very prolific. They write on the regular for filmthreat.com. So look up their names. I am going to be hanging out with them. I'll tell you where I'm going to be. If you are in Atlanta at DragonCon, I'll tell you exactly where I'll be. I'm going to be at the Pulse Bar at the Marriott tonight. I'm just going to be hanging out there pretty much all night in the Marriott area. I'll be there. There's Sear, which is a restaurant there that is their pricier restaurant. I'm probably just going to get some pizza when I've been drinking too much. I'm going to have some pizza. Here's what they do is, and I'm a sucker for this. You can buy these buckets, and it's a bucket it's effectively Kool-Aid with rum, and it keeps you hydrated and drunk. So I'll get the Bacardi bucket. What can I say? I'm going to put a Film Threat sticker over this. That's going to be my bucket. So I'll be Pulse Bar at the Marriott on Friday. On Saturday, I will be doing a panel. This is not my panel, but I've been invited on a panel called Technique versus Content, Saturday, September 2nd at 4 p.m. in panel room C at the Hyatt. Look for me there. So there you go. All right. I wanted to share what it's like to be at DragonCon. Okay. It's basically nerdy gras. So I'm dressed as, I bought this shirt that's like the Marriott carpet, but what's unique to DragonCon more than any other convention is memes are brought to life, right? Memes are kind of brought to life. Like my friend Shane Mackey and Gina, who I'm staying with, great couple. Gina, probably one of the kindest women I've ever met because she tolerates Shane and I, which Shane, I've known Shane for over a decade. We met. He's a local comedian who also he announces wrestling. He's just one of my great friends. Whenever I come to Atlanta, we always hang out. And Shane kind of takes care of me. Because I can get a little nuts when I'm here. Anyways, so something that happened, they had like this costume. They do like a big, costume contest, and a speaker blew up and went into flames. And the very next day, someone was dressed as a speaker with like blowing flames. This is the convention where memes come to life, where there's the most creative cosplay you will ever see. It's a party con, but what they also do, in addition to the types of panels you see at other conventions, is they do a lot of panels related to science, which I love. One of the panels I went to years ago was called How to Get Away with Murder. And they had all this panel of scientists and whatnot. And one of the women on the panel, she was a consultant for one of the SVU shows. and a guy asked the most incredibly uncomfortable question, like how to actually get rid of a dead body. It was weird, and they all take it just completely seriously, scientifically speaking. So, but just to give you an idea of what the vibe is to be at DragonCon, which is this is a con I have fun at. San Diego Comic-Con is kind of like work for me. It's, you know, panels and meeting people I only see once a year. DragonCon, I am here to drink, have fun, and dress in weird cosplay. I may wear my Mr. Fantastic costume. We'll see. But just to give you an idea of what the scene is like, I'm going to play some videos. My friend Shane is in this clip right here, which is pretty fun.
Are you warming
This is Thursday.
It's only the beginning.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Welcome, DragonCon. Sorry, that's a little clippy there. I'm gonna show another clip. I'm just showing you like what the scene is like. Let's see. No, not that. I'm going to do this. Here we go. Another clip to show you just what the scene is like here. This is the Pulse bar at the Marriott, which is like this bar that's above that overlooks the Marriott. If you look up, looks like the inside of V'ger from Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I'm not the only one to make this observation, not an original thought, but check this out. This is just what it's like to be at the. So I don't know. I love it. It's super fun. Some more videos. I don't even know what some of these are because I was shooting them as I was like walking around. So what's this one? I saw a Barbie and Ken that was a Borg version of Barbie and Ken. You see a lot of mashups. What? So there you go.
So I'm just dying here.
Why are you dying?
You haven't noticed it yet.
What have I not noticed?
Yeah,
what are there things I should? That's awful. It's a Mandalorian festival. So this is just like, you know, what it's like. It's basically 4 connected hotels. You like, you know, walk between the hotels and have a good time. So there you go. DragonCon in a nutshell. You know where I'll be. Pulse Bar tonight. I'll be doing the panel at 4 p.m. Why are you snickering, Alan?
You still haven't noticed yet.
Right.
The banner there.
Oh, it says Drunken Dragon Hotel, not DragCon.
No, our banner.
What? Oh, DragCon. Dang it. You have to correct me. Oh my God. DragonCon. Glenn, can you fix that? DragonCon. Why didn't you correct me? What do you mean? You sit there and just let me flap in the wind.
I just want to see how long it would take.
Oh no, Alan. Oh my God. All right. All right. But anyways, okay.
Either way, I'm sure you're having fun.
I'm having fun. Love connecting with just like-minded nerds. Everyone here has a sense of humor. God, I saw a girl. I'm going to post. So go to my personal Instagram, that Chris Gore on Instagram. I'll be posting a ton of photos. One of my favorites I've seen, Sexy George Lucas is here. I didn't get a photo yet, but I will. And a sexy sandworm from Dune. Not making this up. Sexy sandworm. Everyone here has a sense of humor.
Love the nerd community in Atlanta. They just know how to put on a party, and just I don't know, love it here. I'm all badged up. I'm ready to go. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Let's see if there's any comments we can go through here. Let's see. Quick comments all over the map here. Anyone else watching Disney stock? I'd love to hear what Chris and Alan think about it. What's there to say? You know, they effed around and they found out. They lost half their audience by vilifying their audience. And I think it's very sad to see.
Yeah.
It's very sad to see. And they haven't apologized for mistakes they've made. I'm grateful to not be a stockholder. I mean, it was at one point, close to $300, mm-hmm. and over the last 3 years has dipped.
It peaked during the pandemic.
It peaked
I
during
believe it was like 140, somewhere around there.
Right. Yeah. But there you go.
I mean, let's look at it from a business standpoint. You're investing in a company. You're giving money to a company so that it will use it somehow to grow your money. If you invest your money in Disney right now, what are they going to do with that money? What down the line do you see as worthy of your money to grow? And it's just not there. There's nothing there. There's nothing, no news coming out of Disney at all that would make you excited and say, hey, I want to be a part of this ride.
Right.
We got a lot of, and that's why the stock is tanking.
We got a lot of movies. God, when you say that, Alan, now, you sound so authoritative.
Yes.
I love it.
Turn up the treble?
No. You're just like, okay. I just think
I can turn up the bass.
Yeah, no, you sound just this deep authority. I feel
this is my radio voice.
Yes, it's very radio. I love it. I'm so glad that worked out.
Yeah,
that's cool. And Bill S. Preston Esquire says, "Hail, my fellow film enthusiasts and Lord Thoth. I appreciate you, Lord Thoth. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Join us as a member, and then see you on Discord." And it says, "Join us," which is great. I'm not the only one capable of making a little typo here and there. So, you know what? It's what makes us human. Thank you, Lord Thoth. Appreciate you. I see some other comments here. I may address this. And John Fiera says, "I'm jealous of all the critics seeing stuff at Venice and Telluride right now." I don't know that do we have anyone covering those right now?
We're covering either of them.
We're covering some of the movies from there, though. I know we've gotten some screeners. So we will have review coverage of films from Venice and Telluride on filmthreat.com.
Yeah, and Toronto is starting up pretty soon. And I just saw a film from Toronto.
Yeah, so we will have coverage of Toronto, Telluride, and Venice in the form of reviews. And Imperfect says, "Sing it with me, Film Threat, party time, excellent." I know what that's a reference to. But, I'm seeing some chatter in the chat. And I think maybe it's time to address something. So here I'm gonna look at these comments real quick, and then I'm gonna address this, and we're gonna leave it at that very quickly. John Fiera says, "Does anyone here still watch Midnight Movie Talk? Man, I don't know what happened with Eric Weber blow up with Chris Gore. Weber says Gore knows nothing about movies." So then we go on, and we said, Imperfect says, "Every time I hear an Eric take, it's a bad take, like Grace Randolph level bad." You mean when Eric Weber praised Ant-Man 3? Thought it was great? I don't agree with everything Chris says, but he's a walking film encyclopedia. Well, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. And John goes on to say, "Gore knows movies existed before the year 2010. Always knew this back when he was the DVD reviewer over on G4 TV, Attack of the Show." And then Imperfect says, "The primary difference between Gore and other YouTube movie critics is authenticity and knowledge." Imperfect, thank you for saying that. I'm going to address this really quickly here, but I'll just say this, that I feel sad for Eric at this point. This is Eric Weber's sad attempt to become relevant. I would not say that Erick's opinion isn't valid, because that's not true. I believe that everyone has something to contribute. Alan, when I disagree with Alan, I don't say that Alan knows nothing about movies. Alan knows and observes different things about movies than I do, as does every single movie critic, whether they're a writer, whether they're on YouTube. We all observe and experience things differently, and I love to hear a diversity of opinions. I would never say, or I would never have the narcissistic, self-centered view that my opinion is better than yours. Some people feel this way. I do not. As for this drama, whenever YouTubers bring up some sort of drama, they're trying to get your attention. And I think it's pathetic and sad. What Erick Weber did was, he was not a very good friend. I have helped Erick over the years with his organization. He started a thing called the Sunset Circle Awards, an organization that I guess I'm still a part of, but I'm sure he kicked me out. I really don't care. So the Sunset Circle Awards, I created his logo. I helped him with his YouTube channel. I helped him get his YouTube channel monetized. And then I have spent the last 3.5 years making a movie, and that movie premiered at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California. And I invited my then friend, Erick Weber, to attend the premiere. Now, he was unable to attend. Not that this guy has a regular 9-to-5 day job. He doesn't. There's no excuse for him not to attend. Having said that, he didn't go to the movie. You know what he could have done? He could have watched the film and discussed it. He could have supported his friend Chris, but he didn't do that. You come to your own conclusion about what that says about him and his character. Did I feel betrayed by that? Yes. And he's absolutely a self-centered narcissist. Just look at his Twitter feed that has no sense of humor. And the fact that he keeps bringing me up on his show is pathetic. And that's all I'll say. All of this could be rectified if Erick was brave enough, who was man enough to apologize, and apologize in a meaningful and sincere way, which would involve acknowledging what he did, his behavior that led to this. And there are more things that happened behind the scenes I'm not even going to address. We nearly came to blows at Yard House when he came and ruined a film we were all about to see. We're sitting around a table. There's 12 of us. He comes and proceeds to tell us what we're supposed to think about a movie we haven't seen yet. Screw you, you narcissistic, self-centered a-hole. Acknowledge that there's a reason you are practically friendless in this world, okay? And that many people have abandoned you and your channel. Good luck going forward. And if there are any comments about this, I'll address it, but I don't really have much to say. But I take my friendships very seriously. I support my friends. And if Alan made a movie and it was in Timbuktu, I would fly to Timbuktu to the premiere of Alan's movie, because Alan has been a great friend to me over the years. And, you know, I mean, I don't know what to say. Alan is the opposite of Erick, not just as a friend, but probably physically. That was a joke, Alan. Okay. Because I know you.
Did something happen recently, or did he say something, or did you guys kind of get into it recently?
I don't know. Apparently, he keeps bringing me up on his YouTube channel, and I just think it's sad. Erick Weber drama is a sad attempt to be relevant, and there you go. So we're gonna leave it there. Let me go to your quick comments and questions here. Sorry to hear that, Chris, about Weber. It just shows who your friends are, says Solomon Thornton. Well, there you are. I don't know who Weber is, and I don't intend to give him any attention. I'll stick with Chris, Gary, and Critical Drinker, says the nerd far away. Thank you for that. So there you go. I don't think there are any other questions related to this. So we're going to move on, and we're going to review. Well, we're going to get to Equalizer 3 we're gonna have Alan is gonna review Golda.
Golda,
Before-
yes.
Because I want to make sure more people are here for Equalizer 3. Alan, okay, I'm looking at this photo of
Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren at the top, which is this cigarette. Well, there you are, Alan. Tell us about Golda.
Okay, so this is gonna be a kind of a rocky review because I literally just saw it last night and and drove home and fell asleep. But Golda is the story of obviously Golda Meir, and it's not her life story. It's about I believe it's 20 some odd days of the Yom Kippur Wars, war that took place in 1974. And so it starts with her in an inquiry with the Ministry of Inquiry, and she has to explain her actions during the war. Essentially, in 1974, Israel was attacked from the north by the Syrians and attacked from the south by the Egyptians. And what was clear was that they were caught off guard, and they literally they were inches away of no longer being a country. And the movie is about them trying to. It's not necessarily a war film because most of the film is shot kind of at Golda's mansion or whatever. It's not even a mansion; it's like an apartment for the prime minister, and then kind of behind the scenes of kind of the war room, and so this movie is basically her being a leader, her leading her her military leaders. One poignant comment she makes is, I'm not a soldier, I'm a politician." And so that plays a lot into how this plays out. And then just some really critical mistakes that cost a lot of lives. And ultimately she has to account for the lives that she lost. Because the film admits that these people the losses should have been much, much less. And that's what this movie is. What I liked about this was it's not your typical biopic in the sense of we're just seeing scenes of the highlights of a person's life. We're essentially seeing a dramatized version of these 20 days. And from her point, she's suffering from cancer at this point, so she has to go in for treatments every so often, and it's in the morgue, so she has to walk by all the bodies of the soldiers as she gets her treatments. And I think Helen Mirren, she's Golda Meir. She has the gravitas, as a word we're going to use a lot today. If you know anything about the Arab-Israeli conflict, this might be interesting to you. I mean, it's pretty much out there. If this story appeals to you at all, it's worth watching. And Helen Mirren gives a very good performance. I wouldn't say Oscar worthy, but very good. And yes, she wears prosthetics. So I did like it. But it is long, and it moves along fairly slow, especially in the beginning. So I would definitely I'll give it like a 6.5.
So basically a mild recommendation.
Yeah. I mean, look, I saw it at Century City, and the audience was, with the exception of me, Jewish.
Well, there you go. All right. Let's see if we have any comments on this. Oh, no. Callsign Alucard, you have a friend here in Minnesota, Chris and Alan. Thank you for that. Callsign Alucard for 199. And Pilgrim Media for 2. I have a lot of respect for Mr. Washington. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that for sure. And some other comments unrelated. Shirt is pimpin', says Rogstar. Well, thank you very much. I have matching shorts. Look at that. Matching shorts. So there you go. I don't celebrate 1 year closer to my death, says Wizard179. And Sifex says, hey, we'll grab a beer or 3 for birthday drinks. Hey, AJ, that's awesome. And we've got a bunch of comments related to Equalizer 3. I'm going to save those.
Yeah, we have Golda comments.
Equalizer 3. So, and then Alan Horkin says, we've all seen the Princess Leia costume. Just admit you're a DragonCon, Chris. No, that was a misspelling. So there you go. And Mike MC Wong says the movie actually covered her cancer treatment at the same time the war happened. Yeah. And, oh, Alan, you're not Jewish, says Joseph. So
yeah, surprisingly not.
Yeah. And Helen Mirren in Caligula, nuff said, says Solomon Thornton. Yes, I have seen that with Malcolm McDowell, as well as her in Excalibur. Young Helen Mirren was quite the looker. So what? Helen's not Jewish? JTPRX,
oh, yeah,
saying that. And does it fit the modern strong female character description? Does it smash the patriarchy? Alan?
I think she was the one and only female prime minister of Israel. And so I think that says a lot about whether she smashed the patriarchy or not.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. More comments here. I went to 4th Street School in Milwaukee that was renamed for Golda, as she attended the school in the early 1900s, says Jake Blues. Thank you for that. How accurate is this? How dramatized, says Bill S. Preston Esquire.
Yes, it's as accurate as any biopic
which is not 100%.
Not
I mean,
100%.
they never are. It's a movie. It's not a documentary.
I mean, I think the most, the walkway from the war was Egypt's recognition of Israel as a country. That was kind of the big deal here.
Dark Sith 87 liked it for the same reasons as Alan. If you like history-based movies and like learning more, then it's a good flick to watch. So Helen Mirren was a hottie back in the day, says Smazel19.
Oh, yeah, she was.
For sure. And Brock Samsonite, I'm on the fence for this one. Saw the poster, looked weird, but I saw Helen Mirren, so might check it out. Well,
yeah. I mean, the other picture I have of Golda is her on the phone. And that's, either half of the film is her on the phone and the other half is her smoking.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly an action film.
Yeah. And some comments about what I talked about earlier. I am DA Brown says for 5-7. I haven't spent a night in jail in a while. If I see Eric, I'm going to earn a night in jail. I would never encourage anything like that. Please don't. I think, you decide who you want to watch. I tend to not go after other YouTubers. I may go after a YouTuber's opinion. So I will go after a YouTuber's opinion. I'll say, Alan, I disagree with you about this. Or Gary, I liked Blue Beetle maybe a little better than you did. So what? But I would never go after a person or attack a person's character. I would just ignore that person.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think he's being malicious in any ways. He's being a lot of other things, but malicious is not a word.
Yeah. So I would not encourage that at all. I would never. But if you attack, feel free to attack my opinion, disagree with you about this. But to try to besmirch my character, I take offense at that. I'll point it out, and then you decide. I'm not going after other people. I respect other people, and I respect other people's opinions. And this is a person that doesn't respect others. That's going to be a problem getting through life. That's all I'll say. Football frequency, and thank you for the 5. I am DA Brown. Football frequency for 2. Weber must be the anti-titty tits of a good pal. He is not a good friend. I'll just say that. Back to this. Helen Mirren. So I bet this will be endlessly rerun on British TV, says Alan Horkin. And More MAGA says, her breasts are spectacular in so many movies. Well, you'd have to have an account on Mr. Skin to confirm that. I'd know nothing about it. So, and wait, we have a Rumble. Well, it's about Equalizer. Yeah. We're going to save that. All right. Pivoting. We're going to pivot. What do we do when we pivot? I don't know. I got to find a different, All right. Let's talk about, this is going to be a short review, but I want to talk about Metalocalypse, Army of the Doomstar. This is newly released on video on demand. It's also on Blu-ray. It is a movie that is the culmination of the series Metalocalypse. If you're a fan of Metalocalypse on Adult Swim, it is it's about a band with legions of followers who worship them, and they play speed metal. And I wasn't previously so much a fan of speed metal until this show. It's over the top, it's bizarre. Nathan Explosion is the lead singer. He's it's kind of his story. It's more focused on him than the other bandmates like Murderface and Toki. I loved this series on Adult Swim. They were 11-minute episodes, each episode. The story would be pretty thin, lots of jokes and funny stuff. There was a lot of swearing, but you'd never hear the swearing. You'd hear sort of a twang on a guitar to kind of, instead of a bleep, they'd have a twang on a guitar to bleep the swearing. And then funny plot story. There was always some thread of some impending apocalypse, a metalocalypse, if you will. And then it would culminate with some sort of music or song that needed to be played to resolve the issue. And I loved it. I love that show. In 11-minute doses, it's late night stoner TV on Adult Swim. And I loved the series in particular, mainly because it was my friend, John Schnepp, was one of the directors on the show. And he directed some of the best episodes of the show. I mean, the show was just so crazy and over the top, and it was like over the top about their life as musicians. They had these people that worship them, but somehow the band was connected to like an impending apocalypse. So they wove in conspiracy theories. They had like these characters that would come in. There were gory, incredibly gory deaths and things that happened. I remember watching it. My daughter loved the show. My son actually got really upset at one episode where like this little girl in a wheelchair dies. I mean, you look back on the show, it's so politically incorrect. It's just over the top. Like, I loved it. And the thing that it had that I think that sort of, the thread was the guys in the band really liked each other. I mean, they really like cared for each other, even though they pretended to hate each other. At the end of the day, there was a lot of heart to it. They'd introduce characters and then kill them off. It was amazing. So each season kind of had a season thread, which would come to a climax. This movie, unfortunately, I'll say, it's about the metalocalypse that they've, predicted is going to come, is finally here. The world is going to end unless, the band Nathan Explosion can write the song that will end the metalocalypse. There's a big battle at the end. Lots of people die. This is very briefly what the plot is, but a lot of it is sullenly walking around, not being able to write the perfect song. And then they have to, in this bizarre climactic sequence, have to connect giant speakers floating in the air, drone-like. And there's a funny thing where Nathan Explosion has like this plug he's supposed to plug in, and he's riding it like a giant dick, which is kind of funny. And then he plugs it in, and then they sing the song. Okay. But it was missing what I loved about the original series. I mean, it's not, I think this movie, Metalocalypse Army of the Doomstar, is like, it's like 83 minutes long, or I think it might even be like, it's under 90 minutes, but it lacks what I loved about the series. The series had comedy, and it was completely devoid of that. Took itself very seriously, and the whole thing is Nathan Explosion sullenly walking around, unable to write a song. I expected it just got boring at parts. The ending kind of made up for it. The third act kind of made up for the first 60 minutes, but I was kind of disappointed. I feel like the 11-minute episodes of Metalocalypse, I love them. There are classic episodes. I mean, I will rave on and on about those episodes, but this movie just, to me, was lacking humor. The one thing that happened at the very end that made me smile, at the very end of the movie, the title comes up. The title for the movie comes up, and there's like these legions and throngs of fans, and you see them, they're all animated, and this showed up. That is John Schnepp, who one of the, not only the director, one of the key directors of Metalocalypse, my friend John Schnepp, who passed away in 2018. John Schnepp directed some of the key episodes. He designed the characters. So these characters were pitched and whatnot. The guy who's the creator, why am I spacing on his name? The creator of Metalocalypse. It's Brandon Small. So Brandon Small like thought up, here are the characters, here are the songs. He wrote the songs, he performed the music. You can see videos of Brandon Small playing guitar live. I mean, it's crazy. I've actually seen the live show. So I've gone to see at the Wiltern Theater. They did this tour. They had the best merch. It was great. You could buy like Metalocalypse thong underwear. You could buy like, I mean, not for me, but for someone. T-shirts, cool, like, I love Metalocalypse, I love the characters, the music, and the sense of humor. What was missing from this was the sense of humor, but Brandon Small hired John Schnepp to design the characters, bring them into real life, and John drew them. He created them, and that's John at the very end of the movie. In a tribute to him, you see him at the very end shaking his fist. And so the third act kind of made up for it, but I really wanted to like it more because I'm a big fan of Metalocalypse. So there you go.
So I mean, what? How did it forget what made it good? Were the originals not involved? Was it John, or was it?
It was,
I mean, it's hard. Yeah,
John definitely brought in heart and humor. John was a fan of the music, but that was Brandon Small. He was the music for Metalocalypse. But I really wanted to like it more. Like it missed what made the show so popular, right? That's the show was popular for its humor, and they do swear in it, but it's not bleeped. So it doesn't feel like the show. They just swear. Because obviously it's direct to VOD, or DVD. I got the Blu-ray, by the way. But like, the humor wasn't there, and I miss them swearing, but you didn't hear this. Sometimes not hearing swearing is funnier than actually hearing them say the words. Here we go. Hey, it's me in HD says, holy shit, long live Schnepp. That's him. Very end of the movie, it's very obvious. Like the movie's just ended, the title comes up, and there's Schnepp shaking his fist. Great tribute. The Doomstar Requiem was definitely better than Army of the Doomstar. Yes, there's a previous movie, and that one, that one is better. Erick Henson. This is what I hear. I haven't seen it, but everyone else tells me it was better. I don't know how I missed it. That came out in 2013.
I mean, how long has it been since the last episode of Metalocalypse 2?
It's been years. I have the series. I don't know why I missed the Doomstar Requiem, but everyone tells me it was better.
Yeah.
But thank you, Erick Henson. Okay. And then Pilgrim Media. I photograph and get video live of live death metal bands, says Pilgrim Media for 2. Well, thank you for that. So there you go. And JTP RX, do you have to know the episodes to understand this movie? Like having to know Clone Wars Rebels and others to understand Sheikah, says JTP RX. I don't think you do. Like, I mean, throughout the series, they just said, the Metalocalypse is coming. Well, you meet this metal band. They're supposed to write a song because the Metalocalypse is coming. I don't know. You don't really have to. I think you would. In fact, if anything, I think you will enjoy it less because I know the show so well. Like, I actually enjoyed it less. So, and hey, it's me in HD says, John Schnepp seems like he embodied what a true friend is and should be. He is truly missed. And by the way, John Schnepp, I knew John Schnepp for 30 years. I look at people and sometimes I like, there's I have friendships that go back decades. I have friends I've been friends with since the 80s. Okay. My friend David E. Williams. I have friends that span decades. I met John Schnepp in 93. Our friendship was 25 years being friends. And it was like we would pick up our conversation from the last time we saw each other. John Schnepp and I met at it was the Chicago Underground Film Festival in 1993. We went bowling, and they took all the filmmakers out bowling. I was there. I saw John's movie, loved it. We became fast friends. He moved to Los Angeles from the Midwest, and I don't know, just friends with him ever since. So there you go. But yeah, I don't think he actually encouraged me. By the way, 2018, I was a recurring guest on Collider Heroes. I was a recurring guest because of John Schnepp. John is the one who invited me to be on the show because he liked to talk to me, Robert Meyer Burnett, and Danica, Comic Book Girl 19. He would have us on as guests. And we talk about comic books and nerd stuff just because he liked to talk to us. And he was like, he kept saying, I was like, I don't really want to do YouTube. I'm trying to relaunch Film Threat, and I'm working with this new guy, Alan Ing, blah, blah, blah. This was back 2018. We were really like newly working together. And so then like he said, he goes, don't worry about technical quality. So I can blame John for this. Don't worry about the technical quality. Just get your computer out and just talk to people, because that's what you got to do. He kept saying, why don't you do your own show, Gore? He would like bug me about it. Gore, just go on YouTube. You know how to be on TV. You know, it's like YouTube's different. I think it's more difficult to be on YouTube, frankly. But like John was constantly, you got to go on YouTube. You got to start doing YouTube. I didn't really start going on YouTube until like maybe 2019. We started doing the shows on YouTube, and then it's evolved into where it is now, and which is really fun to talk to everybody and build an audience. But John was the one like, stop waiting. What are you doing? And he was supposed to be on my panel at San Diego Comic-Con, which was the last Jedi panel. He was one of the guests on the panel, and I had his, which I gave to his then fiance. I gave the little name card, and we had like a vigil at the Hyatt Hotel. We all just met at the Hyatt bar. I put his little name placard there, and it became like a shrine that year at Comic-Con in July 2018. So I think it's great that this was the end of the movie is kind of a tribute. A few more questions here. Oh, wait, I got that one. There you go. Wait, I'm Dr. Roxo, the rock and roll clown, and I do cocaine. Says Brock Samsonite. I saw last night a Dr. Roxo at DragonCon. I saw Dr. Roxo. It was awesome. And Dr. Roxo is in the movie, by the way. Dr. Roxo was one of the best characters, says Automaton. Yeah, what was great about the show was it introduced a lot of great side characters. It was so good at this 11-minute format that bringing it to feature film, I think, was a flaw. Bringing it to feature film, not bleeping swearing, and not focusing on a sense of humor. There you go. And Jimmy Francis became a new member. Mike MC Wong, R.I.P. John. Pour one out for Schnepp. Written by Brandon Small of Home Movies. He's also a musician, says Aaron Taylor. Yes. And Army of the Doomstar had a great ending, says Eric Henson. I don't know why I missed it, but everyone tells me that was better. So I have to see it. So there you go. Anyways, any other comments here? Ken Bogus drop Alan for Alan's daughter, says Aaron Taylor.
I think you got to start up a little bit higher than move down.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, start with Aaron Taylor's first comment.
Patrick Lemire, I love the Metalocalypse show. The tone was perfect. It's Spinal Tap plus Metallica plus Danzig times 10. Exactly. The original series is fantastic. And Schnepp was Collider, says Night Junkie. John was right, says Joseph. Yes, Aaron. Drop Alan and succeed. Wait, what? What is this? Drop Alan and get on YouTube. Just kidding. No, I'm not gonna. I love working with Alan. I mean, it took. I mean, honestly, if we're being honest, Alan, you and I took a while to get chemistry right. I needed to learn some stuff, and
we both did, and I know I still do. So
no, whatever. Like like, we're both learning together. I can't do the if I have to do the show without Alan, something is missing. And yeah, I don't know. So yeah. Okay, now a lot of the comments are about Equalizer. We're gonna have to pivot here.
Yeah, we're gonna
oh, it says Alan was right about the one boob. So
the one true boob.
there you go. Alan's daughter taking over the family review business, says Joseph. No,
Yeah, she's staring at me right in the corner.
Is she really? She's giving you little
laser eyes. Yeah,
giving you a side eye. There you go. And Mike MC Wong says, "Hi y'all! Can't wait for Labor Day weekend to start. Chris, you are missing a hell of a party tomorrow. I am doing tri-tip. You couldn't save the tri-tip for when I'm in town?" Mike MC Wong, if you see my personal Instagram, you'll see photos of like this giant 35-foot inflatable screen. That's at Mike MC Wong's house. Mike MC Wong and his incredibly, his beautiful and generous wife, Desiree. They've been such kind hosts to our movie meetup group. He hosts like these weekend barbecues out by his pool, has the blow up screen. We've turned it into an AMC or an AMC Mike MC Wong is what I'll call it. The other night we watched Team America and the unedited Tropic Thunder. Super fun, Mike. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. So thank you for that. Okay.
I'm just saying I like tri-tip and Polly. I like Mexican food.
Well, you're invited, Alan. You're invited. It might be a little bit of a hike for you, but you are invited.
I know Santa Clarita is
Santa
a long way.
There you go. And Alan is required for DEI approval, says Gun Ho Matt.
It's that ESG money we're getting.
Here's the weird thing. If you look at the writers from Film Threat, they're just sort of organically diverse. Like, I never care. It's always about like, well, what movies do you know? Well, I know a lot more about this type of film. Well, I don't, so I can learn something from you. This is what I like. I tend to gravitate a lot of times to, because I do watch like Grace Randolph and other types of YouTubers, because I just want to see what other people think. I already know what I think. And I'll learn what Alan thinks when we're on the show together. But I like to learn what other people think. I want to kind of see it through their eyes. Like, oh, that's, I can see what that person says. But yeah, Alan was hired for his talent and his knowledge of movies. Chris plus Alan, best bromance on YouTube.
Oh,
well, here's all I'll say about that. Here's what I'll have to say. So. Wait, where is that? Oh my, I can't find it.
Is it on the other one? Is it on the...
I think it's on the other one. I think it's on the other one. I've never loved a man more than I love Alan right now.
You and 100 other men.
All right. So, and last things are Mike MC Wong says, do you want to watch John Schnepp's Death of Superman Lives at my party next time you come? We should watch some episodes of Metalocalypse. Or we could watch the Metalocalypse movie I somehow missed. Let's do that. I would love to see that. And Pilgrim Media says, $5 word, Alan is a kind adagio sort. So there you go. All right. Hey, what would Schnepp have thought of about Ahsoka, Lord of the Films? I don't know. I think John would be kind of over Star Wars. I think John would have disliked the sequels and the way that they played out. I think he would have disliked The Rise of Skywalker. But I think he would just have the kind of burnout that a lot of us experience. Thank you, Lord of the Films, for being a member. All right, we're going to pivot because we got to talk about Equalizer 3, and we have more movies to talk about. So let's pivot here. Because Equalizer 3, we must discuss Equalizer 3. Here we go. Let's get Denzel there in the background. And we're going to pivot here. Where is that thing? Where is that? Equalizer 3, starring Denzel Washington, is here. If you've seen Equalizer 1, you know the type of gravitas that Denzel Washington is capable of. Equalizer 2 was something of a disappointment. Equalizer 3 delivers. It is, and I know that's like a cliche thing that critics say. I can't believe I just said that, but it does deliver. This is a hard R-rated movie. The violence at times made me turn away, or certainly made me squeamish for a couple of things that happened. Okay, but it's a very simple story. His character has taken out a bunch of bad guys that are dealing drugs. They're bringing in drugs to this port in Italy, sneaking them in, tons of cash, takes them out, and he goes to a hideaway effectively to recover from some wounds during this opening sequence. And he's taken care of by a doctor at this small town, this little villa, if you will, in Italy. He ends up becoming friends with a lot of the people that are the locals. And the locals are very kind to him. They are just, they're kind to him. They befriend him. He meets the local police captain. He meets all the people in this town. But the town is being bullied by some Italian mobsters. And it reaches a breaking point, or at least a breaking point for Denzel Washington's character, whose name escapes me. Why can't I think of his name? Okay. It's what?
I forgot to.
Yeah, it's not. Okay, the entire cast is here, except not the name of his character. He plays what? Robert McCall.
You just call him the Godfather.
I mean, they don't really like his name is Robert in the film. I don't know. They don't really say it all that much.
Well, Denzel's name is Roberto in the film.
Roberto. There you go.
Yeah.
They call him Roberto. So what happens is, as Denzel Washington's character observes these bullies terrorize the people in the town, reaches a breaking point, and he very calmly begins to take them out. Simple story. I don't want to ruin it or go into any details. There'll be no spoilers in this review. We're not talking spoilers, but let me just say this. The movie's called The Equalizer 3, but it is a Western. Structurally speaking, in terms of a story, it's a stranger comes from out of town. There's a sheriff in this town. The sheriff is being bullied by the bad guys. And the stranger from out of town takes care of business in the most hyper, over-the-top, violent way you could possibly imagine. So it's like a mashup of a part Western, modern action thriller with Denzel Washington, mixed with a spaghetti Western, mixed with a mafia film, mixed with an R-rated Batman movie. The third act, without ruining anything, is effectively an hard R-rated Batman film. I will not go into any specifics about exactly what happens in the third act. It just felt so frightening because you've got these characters, the bad guys, the mobsters, these horrible drug dealers, who are just vicious and brutal to the townspeople, that are then terrorized by what lies in the shadows. It felt very much, the third act felt like R-rated Batman as you would read in a comic book, like Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. I loved Equalizer 3. I plan to see it again. I thought it was fun, and it's always there's joy that comes from seeing evil people get what they deserve. I love The Equalizer 3, strongly recommend it. But at its heart, it's a Western mixed with a hard R-rated Batman. And I'd love to see this. It's Antoine Fuqua is the director, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say that right? Antoine Fuqua is the director. He is the director who said effectively, because if you look at his back catalog, you wouldn't. He makes movies in very different genres because he's trying to. He wants to just try different genres. I love that as a filmmaker. Antoine Fuqua, if you look at his resume, he's not the type of filmmaker who makes a certain type of film always. He makes different types of movies. He made Magnificent Seven, which is a Western. So it doesn't surprise me that Equalizer 3, he also did Training Day, which is very good. And he made Emancipation. I don't think Alan and I really liked Emancipation. I think our review of it,
there are elements that I liked about it,
but there were elements that I liked, and it was a different type of movie. But he's a filmmaker who likes to stretch himself creatively. So really appreciate. I mean, I think he's amazingly talented. So strong recommendation from me for Equalizer 3. Alan, what did you think of it?
Yeah, definitely recommendation for me. I would agree with a lot of what you said, except to me, it wasn't a Western, it was a horror film. And it was a horror film taken from the viewpoint of the killer. If you pretend, we'll talk about Slotherhouse in a moment, but if you pretend that the mob was a sorority, and the movie is basically going to the sorority in three steps, in 3 stages, and killing about a third of the house along the way. And the reason I say it's a horror film is because of the way they are killed. I mean, it's brutal. There are horror elements. There's one moment where someone is sitting there, and then the camera moves and a chair moves in front of the camera, and then when you see the person sitting there, Denzel's behind him. Those are very horror elements, and just the brutality, the dismemberments, the blood, the people die in very horrific ways, much like a horror film. And that's what this movie is. I'm watching this film with my hand over my eyes, just how gory it is. But I do have to bring up Dakota Fanning. We talked about actors having gravitas in roles, and in this movie, Denzel Washington had gravitas. You believed that this is a guy who he was. He was tough. When he would challenge the bad guys, basically saying, "I'm just giving you a warning," or "I'm giving you notification." I'm giving you 9 seconds. You believe it, but then you cut to Dakota Fanning, who leads a team of CIA agents to uncover what the mob is doing. She doesn't quite have the gravitas. In fact, we could talk about affirmative action if we want to, but it's a typical affirmative action story, and the thing is that Dakota Fanning has to play a role of leadership. And the way she does is she acts tough. She talks tough. And she doesn't quite have the gravitas in her performance to get us to believe that. And this is probably the weakness of the movie. I like nothing against Dakota Fanning. She's a great actress. But she just can't fake leadership like this at this stage of this character's career.
Right. Well, you brought up some things that I wasn't aware of. So yeah, you're right. You could see this as a horror film for sure. And her character was kind of weak, but she's not in it all that much, so she didn't ruin it for me. There's a little thread with her and a payoff at the end. Obviously, we're not going to discuss it, but it's not a big part of the film. But I can't. So I was like you. There are certain things that are like when Denzel Washington, when he says something. I mean, I forget. Also, he's a star. He is one of the last. He's
earned the gravitas here.
100%. He has earned it. Like he's like that. He has that gravitas that a Hollywood star has, and there's so few actors who have that now.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually kind of sad to see like where we are. It's like, yeah, there's just very few movie stars that are around. But yeah,
and it's not necessarily that that experience gives it to you. I mean, if you think about Henry Cavill as Superman, if you think about even Chris Hemsworth as Thor, they brought the early Thor. They brought that gravitas to those characters, and we knew nothing about them beforehand. So it's not like, you have to necessarily earn it over time, though it helps. I think Tom Hanks is an example of a person who earned his gravitas over time.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's very enjoyable, very satisfying, especially because they really build up how bad this mafia family is. I mean, there is a scene right out of a horror movie. They've got the guy who's the head of the police department. They bring him in to kind of just tell him like, hey, shut the F up, do what we tell you to do. And they do something horrific to him and send him out. And it is Like, it's horrifying. I mean, the audience was gasping during some of these moments of horror. I mean, it is just like super over the top, but I really enjoyed it. So strong recommendation from me. I mean, I would give it like an 8 out of 10 for the type of movie that it is. I don't know. How would you rate it, Alan?
7.5.
All right, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I have not seen the first 2 movies,
Right.
but I did see the TV show.
All right, well, let's go to your comments and questions. Thank you for your patience. I've held a bunch of comments here about this, but let's go right to it. Solomon Thornton says, Denzel Washington, one of the greats. Can't wait to see this film. You will be very satisfied. Good time at the movies. Dark Sith 87, who's a member, says, good morning, y'all. With that shirt, it wouldn't surprise me if a dude walked behind Chris wearing just a banana hammock. It's going to happen. I'm just going to read all the comments here. From Rumble, Winter Soldier sub-supporter, The Equalizer 3, using all the predictable scenarios, but somehow managing to twist just to keep you guessing. That's what I like. It's like, yes, there are things you could just say, it's predictable or seen it before, but it's done so well and differently that I don't care. And it's Denzel Washington.
He created this character. He absolutely created this character. This is him at his best.
Yeah. Penny says, I saw Equalizer 3. Great movie, except when a server spilled a beer all over my hubby. Oh, no. Well, I hope you got
that one wasn't at my screening.
Yeah, that should have been a free beer. Oh, man. Well, there you go. So I hope you got a free beer out of that. From Rumble, Elijah Fire supporter, Denzel is one diversity hire I can get on board with. There you go. And oh my God, Ken Bogus gifted 10 Film Threat memberships. And the way that works is when you gift memberships, all the 10 people, the next 10 people that are below that post, those people get gifted memberships. If you see that you got a gifted membership, go over to the community tab on our channel on YouTube. You'll see a link to our Discord. Hey, become a member on Discord so you can chat with Alan and I and everyone in the chat who's a member after the show. Thank you, Ken Bogus. That's incredibly generous. We appreciate it. Thank you. And Jericho Leon, the biggest flaw with Grace Randolph is that if you're not a paying audience member, she will not interact with you. Otherwise, her takes are solid, says Jericho Leon, who's a member. We'll interact with like anybody who has we have to thank Ms. P. Coffee for curating and starring the best comments. But if you're adding to the conversation, we want to hear from you. So, but I think Grace Randolph, I think in her defense, she has like 1 million subs and she has I don't know that she has a producer that helps her behind the scenes.
Looks like she does it by herself.
She looks like she does it by herself. And look,
her graphics make it clear that she does it by herself.
I don't agree with a lot of what she says. Here's why I watch Grace Randolph, just to explain. I want to know what a normie thinks of things. I consider her to be something of a normie, and I like to hear her opinion. And sometimes she gets scoops. I watch a wide variety of YouTubers, from Gary at Nerdrotic to the Critical Drinker to John Campea to Grace Randolph. I want to know what a diverse group of people think about things. I watch Verbal Riot Show. I watch Paulie from Latino Slant. I watch Midnight's Edge in the morning. I watch a lot of people. So there you go. Thank you, Jericho. And Robert McCall, says Spidey Sensei 72. Thank you for that. Alan Horkin, Dakota Fanning casting is a fun nod to Man on Fire. Yeah, they've worked together. So that's kind of cool. John Long, last name, instead of Equalizer 3, they should have made the sequel to Man on Fire, Lupita, with Dakota Fanning finding out Denzel is alive. I don't want to say anything. This movie kind of, just go see it. Go see it.
I have comments, but they're spoiler in nature. So.
Yeah, we're not going to, it's not, we want to preserve, this is not like Star Wars where people are checked out and don't care. Like, I think our Wednesday stream is turning into no one cares about Star Wars. Entertain us talking about Star Wars because we're not going to watch Star Wars.
Yeah, just spoil away. Just
spoil away because we don't care. We're not going to watch anyway. Hey, AJ Sifak says Dakota Fanning's character was obvious who she was because I just rewatched the first two, but she did well. So there you go. Hey, it's me in HD. Says, Chris, your description sounds accurate. Fuqua stated in an interview that he viewed the character as a superhero, which is why Denzel came back for sequels. It's the third act is a Batman movie.
Yeah.
The third act of Equalizer 3 is an R-rated Batman. Straight up Batman. Or
as I say, it's the final act of a Jason movie.
Well, I like your description as well, Alan. It's like a serial killer movie. It's a killer movie like Michael Myers and Halloween, but from the point of view of the killer, and everyone that's being killed deserves it. They all deserve it. So thank you for that.
I mean, I remember like Friday the 13th, there were 13 kills and they were all done in very unique ways. And that's kind of how that final act works out.
Hey, Director Mink has become a YouTube member. I know Director Mink. I know Director Mink personally. Thank you for becoming a member. Join the chat on Discord. We got to catch up. Why do filmmakers or producers often mess up the second movie in a franchise? Thoughts? Equalizer 1, great. Equalizer 2, fine. Equalizer 3, great, says H. It's almost like the second film, it's really hard to get the second film right. If you get the second film, it's sort of like the second album for a band. Their first album is like every song is a hit. Then they do a second album. It's what they call the sophomore slump. There's a reason the term sophomore slump exists. Sophomore slump is you hit a home run the first time, you get up to bat the second time, and maybe you get a base hit. That's it. Sorry to bring up a sports reference on a movie show, but there you go. Fletcher Williams, I Suck at Games channel says, I loved the movie. It has so much investment in the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the policeman's family, and you see that they rough up not just him, but his wife, and they have a young daughter, and I'm just like, when I see scenes like that, I get white knuckle on my chair. I'm like, if you hurt this family, I will come after you. So, hey, Paulie from Latino Slant, Film Threat, look at that shirt. Guapo. Hey, I'll wear it. I'll wear it to our movie meetup. So, Paddington 2 is glorious, says Blackstar 1069.
So that's an example of a 2 that actually worked.
Yes, yeah. No, Empire Strikes Back, Godfather 2. There are great second films in a series, but the majority of part 2, Ghostbusters 2, you could name a whole bunch of part 2s of things that were not very good. There you go. Yes, Denzel is the star, says John Manalang. And Brock Samsonite, how closely did it follow the previous storylines from the first Equalizer movies? Alan, what would you say?
Well, I haven't seen the first 2, but there were clearly nods to it. And again, that would be spoiler territory.
Well, the other thing I would say this as well. You don't need to have seen Equalizer 1 and 2.
Absolutely.
Enjoy this. I don't think
I mean, that opening scene just kind of sets it all up. You don't need to know it. Yeah.
The opening scene is such a great build-up.
Yeah. I mean, it just establishes the brutality you're about to see and the character itself. And that's all you need.
And what I do like about the opening scene, it ends with consequences.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So that wraps it up for Equalizer 3. We have special guest joining us in about 15 minutes. The filmmakers behind Don't Look Away. We have the director and the writer-producer are going to be joining us. You should check out the trailer for Don't Look Away. It is the weirdest horror film trailer. We'll discuss it when the filmmakers get here. But Alan has seen a movie I have not seen. And Alan.
Hi, Dad, I miss you.
Oh my. Wait, what were you about to me do this? Wait, stop.
Dad, help me.
Why would she say this? All right, let's pivot. We're going to talk about Slotherhouse.
It's fall on the floor laughing. Whoa.
Alan. You have seen Slotherhouse. I
Yeah.
have not. Tell us
Yeah.
about Slotherhouse.
Let's just say the reason I saw it is because it's in theaters. I believe AMC is doing a special screening of it. So yeah, so let's talk about Slotherhouse. Somewhere in the world that I can't remember. It's either South America or Africa. Um, there's a sloth that is really cute. But he falls into the river and rips apart an alligator, and then ultimately gets captured by poachers, which just fuels his rage. He's sent to America, and the guy who took him, he takes him out for kind of a stroll out in the day, and he meets a college student who who thinks it's cute, and then they part, and then the sloth kills the guy, and then somehow the sorority girl gets a hold of the sloth and decides, hey, let's make this sloth a mascot of the sorority. Now, meanwhile, at the sorority, she and the president are in this election to see who's gonna run the sorority, and people like the first girl. I'm sorry, I'm failing on names here, but because she brought in the sloth, everyone thinks it's cute, and until the sloth starts killing the sorority girls, just like Equalizer 3. There's 3 acts, and about a third of the girls get killed in each act. And yeah, so this one, look, the whole idea here is that this cute little sloth you see right there in the background is a serial killer, much like Chucky was. Um, this falls in the full moon features kind of category.
So
It's just
kind of cheesy, is what you would
yeah,
say.
cheesy horror. Again, just like Equalizer 3, the kills are very creative. The sloth is got these razor sharp talons. Also knows how to drive. Also knows how to use social media, and you know, so this is that cheesy exploitation type movie. If you're a fan of full moon features and the murder puppets and all that stuff, here you go. Here's another one. Very cheesy. I'm not sure that it will elevate the genre at all, or it elevates the genre at all, but if that's what you like, that's what you like, and there you go. So unfortunately, just I can't recommend it, but there's definitely an audience for this kind of horror.
Well, first of all, I like that kind of movie.
Mhm.
Like I went and saw, if you recall, I reviewed Pooh, Blood and Honey. Look
Yes.
up on our channel, Pooh, Blood and Honey. It was the Winnie the Pooh movie. It's bad. It's terrible. It's not a good Winnie the Pooh film. And it's first of all, does this fit in the category of, I need a question for you.
Yeah.
Is it not a good movie, but it's a fun movie? Like Pooh, Blood and Honey is a terrible film. I would rate it a 4, but I would give it a 9 in terms of having fun. Like I had fun. And also just seeing these pictures in the background that
Yeah.
are coming up, that show up on your screen now, like this cute sloth, she brings it back to the sorority. Like you wouldn't suspect the sloth as being a murderer because the sloth moves so slow. Do they have sort of
And
a
it's
sense
cute.
of humor?
It's cute.
Cute. So did they play on the sense of like humor of like the sloth is moving slowly to go murder someone? The person that's about to be murdered is completely unaware. They're just partying and having a good time. Then the sloth slowly is creeping in, because there's those wind-up scares.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like Zootopia. I mean, there's that whole joke of that sloth that just moves in slow motion. That's
that work at the
anime in slow motion.
GSP.
This is not it. This doesn't happen here. The sloth, if it is slow, it's using it as a cover for its killing. So I think that's as far as I should go with it, in that spoiler realm there. Yeah, because literally you could, this is essentially Chucky. You could swap the sloth out with something else that's cute, and you'd basically have the same movie. And so it kind of, you kind of wish it would embrace the fact that it was a sloth in more creative ways.
Right.
Again, the joke is it's cute and it kills. And that's the movie.
There you go. All right. Hey, let's go to
And
your
we're in a sorority house. Okay,
No, but-
there's the other element there.
Okay, 2 questions, and then we're going to go to your comments and questions and remarks here. Is there nudity?
No.
All right,
Yeah.
that's Mark
So,
again.
so no need for the second question.
There was nudity. The Poo, Blood, and Honey, they get in a hot tub, and there's like
Mhm.
sexy girls in it. So Poo, Blood,
Yeah.
and Honey, I'm not recommending it 100%. I'm saying I had a fun time watching it. And would you recommend it? What do you rate it based on?
I wouldn't recommend it. I think what I was looking for a recommendation was somehow elevating the genre, and I don't think it did.
Right. All right. Well, then a non-recommend from Alan for Slotherhouse. Let's go to your comments and questions here. We'll start with super chats. MK Solid 82 for 499 was watching some of Ahsoka. How could a big hulking Jedi like Baylan Skoll survive Vader's wrath for years? And Chris, that shirt screams Cafe 80s. Oh yeah, I love this shirt. I ordered it online, and I was going to go to DragonCon. I haven't been to DragonCon. By the way, I haven't been to DragonCon since 2019 was the last time I was at DragonCon. So there you go. And I ordered this like in anticipation of DragonCon coming back, and it is back. I can't tell you how many buckets of rum that I had last night because I don't remember. That's how many. That's how good of a time it was. Back to your comments here, and thank you for that, MK Solid 82. More comments here. Sean Z for 499. I'm back. Was in the hospital for a few weeks.
What?
I'm all good. Film threat for life. Sean, are you okay?
Sean.
Oh man.
Oh.
All right. I am glad you are back. Thank you for that.
He probably took his cell phone away during while he was in the hospital.
Well, yeah, we communicated by email. So hit me up. I have a question for you, but it's a more private question. So hit me up. Sean Z also became a new member. Thank you, Sean Z. That's awesome.
Well, I think when he was in the hospital, his membership lapsed.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. It's all good. Hey, and Joe Not a Fed has also become a YouTube member. We appreciate all of our members, and we do a lot of giveaways with the members. So pay attention to the members only tab. Look at this. Football Frequency has become a member. Thanks to all the new members. Check out the members only tab on YouTube. You just go to the channel and it's right there. Oh my gosh, we had a lot of comments here. My apologies, folks. I'll get to as many as I can. I hope the sloth kills by not moving for a long while, then awkwardly jumps to the sloth eating their kill, says Zavin. Is that how it works out?
Kind of.
Is Slotherhouse a comedy, asks Joseph.
Yeah, I think it leans more on the comedy end. Especially when it starts driving and it starts posting its kills on social media.
Okay, that's a joke then. All right, that seems stupid. Aaron Taylor, they need a slothercist. Yeah, that'll be the sequel.
Yeah. I mean, this could be a new genre. You know, Gone with the Sharks, now with the sloths.
Yeah. Well, the shark movies are crazy. There's Sharkula, there's Shark Exorcist, there's Jurassic Shark. We did a joke about it on Award This, which, by the way, Award This. We need to have a quick conversation about Award This. But I'm going to get through these comments first. But stop, Alan. My funny bone is going to burst. Says, hey, it's me in HD. JTP RX Sloth is more accomplished on social media than myself. And Shucksy,
yes, it was.
Shucksy's been a member for 13 months. Chris, have you received any of my letters lately? I did get one. It's at home. It's on my desk. I'll read it next week if you want me to. It was a very, very kind letter. And I thought I'm going to save it for when I get back and read it on the show. And we could do that next Wednesday, Shucksy. But I check my mailbox, unfortunately, about once a month. So there you go. Thank you, Shucksy. I did get it. JTPRX, one of my favorite films with nudity was Revenge of the Nerds and Police Academy. Just saying. Yeah, those movies benefited from extra nudity.
Yes. I mean, nudity can definitely elevate a film, but sometimes you don't always need it. This one probably could have used a bit. Cocaine Sloth
says the nerd far away. We can see a whole sloth genre. They took my phone, said Sean Z. Oh, they did? All right. Well, just email me later. It's all good. Patrick Lemire, Mr. Skin just shed a tiny tear. And Shuxy says, where can this movie be watched? Is it in theaters like a Fathom Events?
Yeah, I checked. It was AMC.
AMC
was where I
so
spotted it. Yeah.
it's one of those. A lot of theaters now, like Regal and AMC, they're getting like exclusively certain indie movies to show. So that
Yeah, last year Regal did The Mean One, which is coming on DVD pretty soon. But
it's coming out in October.
Yeah, but Regal bought The Mean One and put in its theater from Halloween to Christmas. So.
Spaceman says Toonces, the sloth who can drive a car. And JTP RX says Sloth is more accomplished on social media than myself. And there you go. So I think I read that one already. It's all good. Real quick pivot here. Want to remind filmmakers out there, if you're a filmmaker, this is the first plug for this event. I don't have an official, thing created for this. But if you're a filmmaker, go to filmthreat.com. Why is this not working? I don't know. Okay.
Hold on. Is it? Am I seeing this?
No, it's all good.
Okay.
All right. No, I'm gonna have to look that up later. Sorry, folks. Award This is our annual event at Film Threat. What is it? It's an award show. It is an award show that you can attend. You can't go to the Oscars. You can't go to the Independent Spirit Awards. You can't go to the SAG Awards. But guess what? You can go to Award This. It's Film Threat's annual event, and you can submit your project. If you're a filmmaker, you can submit your film. Go to filmthreat.com. In the upper right corner, there's a little button that says Submit Filmmakers. Go to filmthreat.com/submit-project. You could submit your movie. It is an annual awards event that's going to be a lot of fun. It's kind of part parody of an award show, but it's also an award show that genuinely awards deserving small indie movies, like the indie movies that you see here. Many of the categories are best pop culture documentary, best music documentary, best horror, indie horror, best short, best indie comedy. All sorts of categories. There are about 21 categories to choose from. And we're doing it December 10th. It's at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California. Tickets will be on sale in October. The event takes place on December 10th. Mark this on your calendar. December 10th. If you want to say, fly in for the event, we've only got 225 seats in the theater. It is, I don't know. I think it's super fun. Oh my God. What should I share this? I'm going to share screen. But September 30th is the event. I don't have anything prepped, Alan. Next week we'll do a proper plug for it.
Yeah. Do you want to mention the I guess to me it's the deadline when your film went to mass release. I believe we said March of this year.
Yes.
To be eligible.
Yes. So no, it's the deadline is September 30th.
Okay.
So
okay, we'll have to talk about this.
Well, yeah, we're talking about it now online.
No, I'm saying the films that are eligible for this year's awards. Technically, we're celebrating last year's films.
Right, but the thing is this: there's a lot of filmmakers whose movies have not been reviewed. There are two qualifications for your movie to be eligible for Award This. Only two. One, it must be available in commercial release. Okay, so you need to be able to buy it, rent it on Amazon. It can also be available on streaming. It could be on YouTube. It could be on Tubi or Mubi or whatever any streaming service. You must be available to see.
Yeah, so if you're currently on a festival run, you wouldn't be eligible at the moment.
Not yet, but you also must have a review on Film Threat. So you have to have a review on filmthreat.com, your movie to be reviewed, and then you have to be available in commercial release. And then we are going to mark a cutoff date, which is probably going to be in the middle of the year. And if you're not eligible this year, you'll be eligible next year. So don't sweat it. So this is our event. There's a step and repeat. There's drinks, gift bag, and you can attend. I will post the link to get tickets in October. But if you're not able to attend, we will be showing it on YouTube. I have, oh my God, for this year, I have a comedian that I'm a huge fan of. I can't announce it yet. There is a comedian that I'm a huge fan of that we're looking at getting as a host of the event. I cannot wait. So wait,
There's an ad playing. That's why.
The ad is so annoying. Look at all these, too many
There's
ads.
a video ad going on.
Oh my God. Well, there's more. If you just look up award this on Film Threat, a ton of stories come up. There's a ton of here's some of the stories you can see. Obviously, we have too many ads on the Film Threat. They annoy me. Okay. But just look up award this. It's a really good time. It's an opportunity for you to experience what an award show is like. It's really fun. It's, you get the entire breadth of experience, which is, you go on the step and repeat and you'll see all the filmmakers and you can just rub elbows, so to speak, with everybody. It's small indie filmmakers mixed with fans of indie film. Alan and I are there. There's other writers like Jason Delgado, Sabine DePlacy, she shows up. Dante James will be there. A lot of people that you see, Paulie from Latino Slant, he attends. So it's filmmakers, people from Film Threat and our extended families, so to speak, extended friendverse, and a lot of and you get to see little clips of the movies. John Bailey, epic voice guy, is there. We are it's a very diverse group of filmmakers. We have a category called most socially relevant documentary. We also have LGBTQ, but we also have WTF. I think Ouija's won one year. It's movies from indie films from all across the spectrum. It is super fun. We have a blast. John Bailey, who is epic voice guy, is our announcer. It's just a really good time. If you've never been, to an event like this, definitely, we'll let you know when tickets are on sale. So there you go. The one year in 2021, we did it at a drive-in. And by the way, all of these events are on our YouTube channel. So just look up Award This on YouTube. Watch the show. We make fun of award shows and how stupid they are, but we also have a very good time. And it's our annual party is what it is. So there you go. And you can come to the party. We keep the tickets cheap. Everyone gets a gift bag and drink tickets, and we just have a good time. There are too many ads on the site, Alan.
I know.
There are too many ads on the site. All right, time to pivot.
By the way, last year's winner was Donnie's Bar Mitzvah.
Yeah, the winner of our awards, Indie Film of the Year, was Donnie's Bar Mitzvah, which is an incredibly raunchy, politically incorrect comedy. So what does that tell you?
With nudity.
With nudity. We show respectful clips there, but there you go. All right, it's time to welcome the filmmakers behind one of the most bizarre indie horror films of the year. I'm sure they will be eligible for Award This, actually. Now that I think about it, they're going to be eligible for Award This. So here we have director Michael Bafaro and writer-producer Michael Mitton. They're calling themselves the Michaels, joining us on the Film Threat Livecast. Gentlemen, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Cool. This movie don't look
too,
away.
Alan.
What's up?
Thank you.
Nice to meet you too, Alan.
Good to meet you too. Which Michael is which?
I'm Michael Bafaro.
He's the director and I'm the writer guy.
Cool. Michael Bafaro, thank you for the correct pronunciation. Michael Mitton, writer, producer, thank you. Okay, I'm going to tell everyone right here, right now, everyone watching live, we got almost 500 people watching us live. Watch the trailer for this movie. You will not believe. It is like a giant Kendall is a murderer. Would that be a good description?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us what inspired you to make Don't Look Away, and tell us a little bit about the basic story.
All right, Michael, you take this one.
Well, I mean, the basic story is it's about a supernatural mannequin that goes after a group of young people, killing them one by one. And that's like pretty much basically what it's about. We've gotten our kind of what our movie's about down to a science because it's so simple. It's, you know, it's a kind of classic slasher, but the mannequin is the killer. And we had this idea where it started with a screening we went to of Jason Takes Manhattan from the Friday the 13th series.
And if anyone remembers that Jason Takes Manhattan's, there's a scene in there that where a woman walks into this nightclub and she's confronted by Jason, and then she turns away from him, she turns around and he's gone, and he just starts appearing, all popping up everywhere. So
it's like all those like slasher franchises like Halloween or Friday the 13th, where by the later series, the killer somehow has like teleportation abilities all of a sudden. And we were like, that's kind of cool. And the way they did it in that scene, it wasn't that great, but the idea was so cool. It's like, oh, like now Jason can just teleport. We could do that with our own original character. And then we stumbled upon a picture of a mannequin driving a car, and just on Reddit or something, we were like, what's that? Oh, that's a mannequin in the car. And then it all kind of clicked. We're like, oh, we don't even need a man to do this movie. We can use a mannequin.
And not only that, first of all, this is a brilliant concept. I think for a horror franchise, this is such a great concept because you now basically own this particular image, this character, this mannequin that you created, that I'm getting Ken doll vibes from it, like a giant Ken doll, right?
Yeah, that was unintentional. That was unintentional. When we made this movie, I hadn't even heard about Barbie.
Right.
I hadn't even heard about Barbie. And then all of a sudden I heard about Barbie, and all of a sudden I'm going, oh, this is interesting. And then it wasn't even us that said, that brought up this
Ken
doll thing. It was the distributor that said, holy mackerel, we've got like a Ken doll, anti-Ken, so.
Right. It definitely has those vibes, but congratulations on the film. We have questions and comments from our audience. So if you wouldn't mind taking some questions from them right now.
Okay.
English Batchers, who's a member, says, welcome, Michaels.
Welcome. Thank you.
And the Nerd Far Away says, hail, Michael and Michael. What writers have influenced your style?
Well, for this particular film, like a big one was Larry Cohen. His like work, throughout
Larry.
Yeah, for all of his genre stuff, Maniac Cop, all that sort of stuff. It's like he's the kind of guy who would take like a basic premise, like a murdering cop, and infuse it with all sort of strange indie New York kind of fun stuff like that. So yeah.
Cool. More questions here. Do I detect Canada? Says Sir Switch Crookington.
Yes.
You can hear it a little bit. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Sorry.
We do have some talent up here too. So.
And Alan Horkin says, don't look away. So a bit like Blink and the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who.
That's what people have been telling us. We've never seen Doctor Who.
I've never seen Doctor Who. I've never watched it. I've heard about it, but I've never watched it. And then all of a sudden, everyone was starting to talk about
these
Weeping Angels. And it's just literally a fluke, I guess,
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, it's a similar concept to like a bunch of slasher things, right? Like it's an old idea. But I guess you could say it's similar. We don't know. We've never seen Doctor Who,
and that's the truth. I mean it, since like the truth. So
Solomon Thornton asks, greetings, Sir Michaels. Any advice for beginning filmmakers?
Just, write and try to make things, and, always try to be figuring out how you can get the most production value and make the best movie with the resources that you have.
Yeah, Michael and I have been making movies now for about 7 years
together.
And together. I had previous, experiences like over the years. I've been in the business 30 some odd years now.
Longer than I've been alive.
And as far as okay, you're going to make a movie, put a lot of prep into it, tons of prep. If you don't have a lot of money, that's where you're going to make your movie. And
I never give up along the way. Like, depending how long the shoot is, like, you can lose your momentum, but you really have to pump yourself up every day, even if you're tired, even if you think, oh, yesterday, like, we didn't get exactly what we wanted. The movie's not going to be as great. Every day you have to keep pushing, because it's the small things that, you do that will make it better.
And if you truly believe in the movie, just keep going. Don't let anyone say, oh, this will never work. This will never work. Because we heard that on this one. And I have to admit that I was running scared on this film, because we were writing the script and I'm going, oh my God, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to make this work? And it was very, like, I was scared every day, even while we were shooting. I'm going, how are we going to make this work? But it came out, we believed and
embrace the fear.
Yeah, embrace the fear. Running a little scared is good, I found.
Am I wrong? But are you getting a theatrical release, right?
Yeah,
yes.
We got,
because I remember seeing the trailer in the theaters.
We've got.
Oh, really? You saw it in the theaters?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
it was. I forgot what movie it was. It was definitely a horror movie I was watching.
It's AMC theaters and Alamo Drafthouse.
Okay, that's where it is.
And
was this something that kind of surprised you, or did you have the theatrical already in place when you were making the film?
No,
well, like when we made it, like, again, it's an independent film, so anything can happen. But like, our vision was, of course we want it in the cinemas and everything like that. And even the way Michael shot it too, it's like he shot it with the intention for it to play on a big screen.
I do believe in that. I believe in that. If you can really, really put your best effort, or don't just settle, that someone will take notice of the film. The budget we worked at was one that we really had to work hard.
Mm-hmm.
Michael and I were doing all sorts of things to get this film noticed. Like, we to get the film made, we had to go to do craft service. We had to go to the Walmart every night after work. That was before we did all our prep work for the next day. I mean, we worked a long time, like long hours and everything.
And when we found out we were getting a theatrical release, we were really excited. And then it just kept kind of like building a little bit more. It was like, oh, you guys are going to get like a couple theaters or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it was, oh, you guys are getting 100 theaters. And then oh, you guys are getting 200 theaters.
And now we got more.
Like,
now
wow.
I think we're at 300 screens.
Yeah.
300 screens across the United States and Canada. Canada, I think we've got 40 screens or 30 some odd screens. Smaller country, mind you. And but in the States, we did not expect this big of a theatrical.
Well, so question, does it open today?
I have to credit level. I'm sorry, I have to credit Level 33 and Industry Works for that. They worked hard.
It opens in theaters today.
Yes, correct.
That's great. Okay, opens. Okay, just want to make sure that's clear. In theaters today, coming soon, I assume, to VOD and whatnot. So, some comments, more comments and questions here. Brock Samsonite says, "Has Michael seen the side quest for the new Hogwarts Legacy game? It's literally a side quest of attacking mannequins."
No.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
I don't even know what side quest is. Sorry, I'm a little older than everyone out there.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Greasy Guido says, "I love unique horror takes like this. Where is the doll now?"
Oh yeah. Okay, go.
Oh, get it. That's great. And,
we don't have a body. There's a story behind the body, but we managed to save the head.
Oh my God. Oh, it's
and
so
this is like a 3D printed mannequin. When we like went to shoot the movie, we were going to use like more of a generic kind of mannequin from a store. And one of our executive producers, 2 weeks before our principal photography date, wanted a custom designed mannequin. So we had to get someone to design it, build it. It wasn't even ready for the first day of shooting. We were scared. We were like, I had to double as the mannequin for the first day. One of our other crew members doubled as it as well. And we were crossing our fingers, hoping the mannequin would be ready in time. So,
and the way I shot it and everything, you can't tell that it wasn't the mannequin, but we did get it on the second day. So,
was there just one mannequin, or did you have to?
We had a second one that we
had a second one that wasn't as perfect as this one because we wanted to do
the explosion.
We wanted to do
I wanted to abuse it, basically.
Yeah, but we also wanted to do the Indiana Jones face melt with it, so it had a wax head, so we could do that kind of thing.
Yeah, and and then that was
cool.
Well.
More comments and questions here. Cool trailer. Love the wardrobe sheet at the start, says English Batchers. And Iceman asks, did you edit the film yourself?
Yeah,
we did. Yeah.
Cool. Congrats on the movie, says Kara. Who makes the music? Who did the music and sound?
So Matt Douncey, he was our sound designer and composer. He did all of that, and we worked with him. It was a really fun experience. And then Michael's brother got a bunch of sourced music from the late Phil Western, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. But he worked with Nine Inch Nails, Skinny Puppy, Bryan Adams, and a bunch of
Trent Reznor.
Yeah, Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor. Yeah. But so we got a bunch of his music, which was really cool. So it was like, it's not a typical horror soundtrack because this is like really a lot of sourced kind of experimental music. And then Matt kind of did a bunch of work over top to kind of give it that cinematic element.
Cool. John Long last name asks, Tourist Trap is one of my favorite horror movies. Thanks for bringing us more killer mannequins. And Alan Horkin says, I wonder, have the Michaels ever seen the mannequin movies from the 80s?
The Kim Cattrall film?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have not.
I think I saw it way back, but I don't remember it. I'm not big on love stories or like
no one died in that movie.
Romantic comedies or whatever. I'm just they have their place, but
Robin Chang asks, what was the budget?
Oh, we're not allowed to discuss that.
Can't
under 50 million.
Under 50,
under 50 million and over
10,000.
Over $1.
Yeah, usually like filmmakers want to kind of hide what the budget is. You know, it's like tipping your poker hand. You don't want to tell everyone because you want the distributor to pay you more than what you spent on the movie. So,
and you probably want more on the next film too.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
We want definitely going to ask for 50 million on the next one.
Right. Sean Bird asks, any advice on selling screenplays?
Michael, I have the best answer.
I honestly, nowadays it's really tough. Like, I mean, it's always been tough, but write stuff that you believe in, and like if you're true to yourself and all that. And I have no idea like how to get things made anymore. I mean, we're just so into what we're writing our own material all the time. So
the best advice like I ever got was have somebody else in mind as your audience when you're writing a screenplay, because if you're making it for an audience.
I gave you that advice.
No, I
gave you that advice also. Michael, when I first met Michael, Michael, I met him through his mother, who I used to see all the time at coffee place that I go to. She goes, oh, you work in the film business, right? I said, yeah. And she says, would you meet my son when he finishes school? I said, yeah, sure, great. Anyway, long and short, I met him. I read a screenplay of his. I saw talent. I said, wow, I could work with this kid. And then we had a conversation one day. Michael came to me and said, what would you write if you wanted to get noticed? And
just sorry, side note, at the time I had just graduated film school and I was trying to write like a $50 million, essentially a Jurassic Park type movie, but instead of dinosaurs, it was monkeys on an island. And it was like and it wasn't Planet of the Apes either. It was like scientists trying to convince monkeys that there was a god. And I was like, oh my God, I've written like a $50-75 million like ridiculous monkey movie. Who is going to make this movie? And I realized that. And that's why I went to Michael to be like, I need practical advice, because I know no way in hell this movie will get made at this point in my life.
If you want to go, I guess basically what I'm trying to say is, when you're writing something, Michael asked me what I would do. I told him horror. Horror is a really good way of breaking into the business. It plays with all the your sensations and emotions, and you can apply the horror to any other movie, like whether it's drama or whatever. You can apply that to all genres. Yeah, that's pretty well it. I mean, yeah, that's it.
Cool. More questions here. The Nerd Far Away asks, how long did it take to get your film distributed?
So we wrapped our movie last April, and we just did our edit and sound design process. We don't really know, because we don't like deal with that as much. Like the production company, their people kind of did all the sales and stuff, but not very long, because they've got relationships in the business. So they went down to AFM, and they
originally we wrote the screenplay for another group that we had talked to, and at the last minute they bowed out, and we went to another company shortly after. They said they'd finance the movie, and they got involved. And then I don't know, it took we worked on the film maybe 6 months. We met this other group, and then shortly after that, I don't know who they were talking to.
Like for us, like by the time we locked everything, we had like our whole movie ready to deliver. Our movie was supposed to actually get released like earlier in April of this year. And then they decided they wanted to do like a larger theatrical push after they showed it to Alamo Drafthouse and South by Southwest. They pushed it so they could get more theatrical screens. So we didn't really wait that long. Like as we were editing, all this stuff was kind of being organized for distribution.
Yeah. The president of Alamo Drafthouse told our distributor, don't release it in April. Let's do a bigger push on this thing, and we'll release it in September.
Yeah, and so that's Tim League.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Tim. I believe
that's the story. That's what we were told. So.
Oh, that's cool. So you finished it. They finished the movie April 2022, and then you were looking for distribution and got it. Is that right?
Well, no. April 2022 is when we wrapped production.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And so we wrapped production April 2022. We did our edit, all that sort of stuff, and I think February of this year, late February, is when we were delivering the movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think Industry Works was working on finding a distributor as of October, and I think that's when they sort of met Level 33 and they got together, and we didn't get involved in distribution at all.
Fletcher Williams, I Suck at Games channel, says, what camera and lenses did you use, and how did you choose the color and mood for the film?
So the movie was shot on a Blackmagic, the 12K camera, but we shot at 8K. And we primarily used 2 zoom lenses. I believe they were the DPZ or the DZO optics. It's like a newer company. So we had 2 zoom lenses, and they weren't the fastest. I think it was like an F3.
Yeah, it was an F3.
And so we had also a set of Zeiss primes for just a few of the scenes, like the opening.
The opening.
There's a scene with me in the park at night where we used them
when it was darker.
And
all the exterior night stuff.
In regards to the color, like we were going for that Giallo sort of color look, but we also wanted a modern kind of element to it as well. We didn't want to go for that sort of, grindhouse trying to look like those movies. We wanted to incorporate
more the Italian, the Giallo films. All the, Suspiria. All those types of movies, the Italian films of the 70s and 80s.
Cool. And then, well, let's see. Another follow-up. English Bachelors, what difference does it make on a 12K cam and shoot at 8K? Sorry if that's a dumb question.
Technically, like, I'm not that certain on it. I know that from a practical perspective, it is going to make so much more storage space if we're shooting 12K the entire duration. And when you get into editing and things like that, you know, you also have to work in proxies, and it's just, there's really no benefit unless you're doing heavy VFX stuff on like a big grand scale. But for this kind of a movie, it would have been totally unnecessary. 8K was amazing. You can punch in really well to enhance shots. And yeah, that's a technical question for someone smarter than us.
Well, I would say
I'm completely lost. That's my thing.
No. Drive space is an issue, but when you shoot like 8K or 12K, then you can like push in a wide, and you can actually get the benefit of like a close-up, and you still have the resolution. So
yeah. What we used it a lot for was like, so we did a lot of practical zooms in the movie, but we were able to enhance the zooms even more by doing what you said. Yeah.
Shooting in 8K, that helps. And so congratulations on the film. It's in theaters now. Don't look away. Check out the trailer, playing at Draft House Cinemas and across some AMC cinemas. One final question here from Greasy Guido. Says, who would the Michaels rather work with, Michael Caine or Michael Keaton?
Michael Caine.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Caine. I like Michael Caine. I'm a big fan of Michael Caine from his older films. Michael Keaton, he's a good actor too. He's a great actor. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
but
there you go.
Michael Caine.
There you
Michael
go.
Jordan.
Michael Jordan. Whatever, Michael. Thank you, gentlemen, for being on the show. We appreciate it. Congrats on the movie Don't Look Away. Check it out in theaters, and I assume at some point coming to video on demand. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Later.
How are you?
What happened? They went.
I don't know.
We got to
you,
wrap up the show.
Yeah.
We got to wrap up the show. I'm at DragonCon.
Sorry about the abrupt. Yeah, I'll do it. I got it.
Alan.
I'm doing it. You do it then.
There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
We got to wrap up the show. Our final comments and questions here. We had a bunch of comments and questions.
Like I'll just say this: it Hollywood doesn't need to be the end game. You know, just make your movie. You know,
just make your movie. You don't need to. Yeah, you don't need Hollywood.
You don't need to strive for Hollywood. That's my point.
You don't need anyone's permission, and you don't need to complain if Hollywood doesn't give you an opportunity. No one owes you anything. Go and do it yourself. DIY. That's why I bring on these filmmakers. I want you to be inspired. And even someone sent me kind of an annoying email. Like, why do you bring on? So I saw this trailer for this filmmaker's movie. It looked terrible. That should inspire you. Mm-hmm. It should inspire you. You can make it. John Waters gave some great advice years ago. He said, if you try to make a bad movie, you can't fail. So take that advice. And, you know, one of the big reasons I bring on filmmakers on the show of all across the spectrum, you know, is that I want you to be inspired to do your own thing. If that's something you want to do that. Now we've got some final quotes and comments here from people. Dr. Gonzo has become a YouTube member. Thank you, Dr. Gonzo. I appreciate it. I know we chat on Twitter or X, and I appreciate it. Greasy Guido says, do you think Alan will show up this year? Talking about
to award this.
Yeah, award this. Are you going to? Alan has been.
It's not too far, and I'm not working out that day.
Well, yeah. What are your excuses for not going to? Let's see. Go ahead.
Yeah, if it's too far, if there's traffic, or if I had a particularly good workout and I'm feeling extra special about myself, then I won't go.
Well, there you go. All right. Jimmy Francis says, I became a member to support because you guys have the best review coverage of film, doing everything from the huge blockbusters to the cheap indies. You stay honest and intelligent. Thank you, Jimmy. We appreciate you. And we try to do as many giveaways to members. I want members to feel like they're getting something back. In fact, for my birthday on Tuesday, September 5th, I am going to do something special for members. So look on the community tab on September 5th, posting something there special. I'm doing a giveaway for members only, and all members can participate. All members, but it's up to you. So there you go. Patch, and Jimmy goes on to say, I don't understand, Chris Allen. Are you covering, this is about award this, are you covering the films released and reviewed in 2022 or 2023? A little bit of both, but there's some date cutoffs. So for last year's 2022 award this, we covered everything through March of
2022.
March of 2022.
All right. So last year, the cutoff was March 2022.
This year, the cutoff is September 30th to submit.
2023. Yeah.
2023 to submit. You still have to meet certain qualifications. We'll put this on the website, but the qualifications are must be reviewed on filmthreat.com, have a review written. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad either. Doesn't matter. Just on filmthreat.com, and be in commercial release that is available to streaming for free or on VOD or released in theaters. There has to be a way for our audience to see it. So it is a little fudgy on certain things in terms of the dates. It's the previous year, but it does bleed into this year because we pushed it from April to December. We're probably going to keep it in December from now on. We're just going to keep it in December. So I had a discussion with some other people. Alan, you and I need to talk.
I know.
The thing is this, I talked to Alan like on the stream, but we legitimately have to have like business conversations about things. So we'll talk about.
Well, I'm just saying we may be the only award show happening in 2023.
We might, for sure. So thank you, Jimmy, for your question. We'll clarify it on the website awardthis.com, which for some reason isn't up. I don't know what's the deal.
I'll just bring up the comment festival release. It has to be commercial festival release.
Festival
it's just
release
that
count.
Yeah, people can't, you're not in all the festivals. People are not able to see your film.
The point is that everyone here watching, nearly 400 people watching live, need to be able to see the movie, because we don't want to promote a film through the awards show that people can't see. And also, this is not a rule. This is a rule also that is for every other award show, whether it's the Independent Spirit Awards or the Oscars. Oscars have rules even about, how the film is released. I think you need to be release in New York or Los Angeles at least for a week in a theater. And they kind of fudge the rules for streaming, but now they're kind of going back on that. So our rules is you just need to be able to see it. It needs to be commercially available, meaning you can buy it, rent it, see it on a streaming service, any streaming service. It could be posted on YouTube for free. It doesn't matter. Short films, we're very loose on. Short films are, for the most part, short films are on YouTube. But you just need a review on filmthreat.com. So thank you, Jimmy and the dog catcher, for your questions. And this is a very good suggestion. Patrick Lemire suggests the David Dastmalchian Award for Hardest Working Man in Showbiz. Give it to David. We could do a special award and give it to David.
We have done special awards.
We do usually one special award. It's usually something jokey, but we want to honor someone. And I have a couple people in mind. We want to do special awards. We did a special award for the Frida Cinema just for supporting indie film. You can literally, if you're an indie filmmaker, you can literally call up the Frida Cinema and you can ask them to show your movie in their theaters.
Mm-hmm.
They're
very open to that.
They're one of the last truly independent, theaters in Southern California, along with the Lemley, among others, where you can just call the people who own it and say, will you play my movie? I'm an indie filmmaker. And I've referred many people, if you're a filmmaker, and just go, we should just go to the fridacinema.org right now.
I will also say hotel rates in Orange County are great compared to LA.
Yes. Yeah, that's part of the reason we also like to do. But I'm going to share screen here. Go to the fridacinema.org. Here is the website. There you are. It's screening Bottoms. They're playing Old Boy, Tenet. They do retrospectives. They show a lot of anime, classic films. Look, it's amazing the stuff that they show. Look at this.
I might be wrong, but I think American Homeboy is going to play there soon.
American Homeboy is going to play there. I'm already a member. I get their newsletter, but check out their schedule. They also have got a really good bar. Let's just say a lot of selections. So strong recommendation for the Frida Cinema. And we will be doing Award This there. And I believe that just calendar wise, it looks like December is probably a really good month for us to do the award show. So there you go. Final comments here from Nicholas Varga. Hey, Nicholas, for $9.99. Hey, Chris and Alan. Sorry I haven't been around much in the last weeks, but it was a great show today. You totally sold me for Equalizer 3. We'll definitely go this weekend. You guys rock. Thank you, Nicholas. Always good to hear from you and always good to chat with you, here or internet or whatever. There you go. All right. And thank you to the mods today, Lord Thoth and Latino Slant. Want to thank them. Want to thank Ms. P. Coffee. Also want to thank Glenn Brown, our intrepid producer. And I want to thank you all for watching today. I appreciate spending time with you. And guess what? Diversity of opinion is my favorite kind of diversity. I respect your opinion. Alan and I like something that you don't. That's fine. We hate something that you love. That's fine too. It's all good. It is a conversation that we all contribute to. And I love to hear people's different opinions. And we will be back next Wednesday. We're going to be talking episode 4 of Ahsoka. We'll be talking also about some other indie films. We've got probably have a filmmaker guest interview that day. Nothing special happening on September 6th. It is just a regular old normal stream where nothing is going to happen. Right, Alan?
Yes. You're not going to play a video?
I am. No, I'm not. What are you talking about?
I feel like you're setting something up here.
No, I'm not. I'm just like, Happy Cinco de Mayo, folks. And don't forget the 3 brave amigos who fought the infamous El Guapo and his plethora of bandidos to free the people of Santa Poco, says Wes Ray.
The infamous El Guapo.
Infamous?
Okay.
Infamous?
He's more than famous. He's infamous.
He's infamous.
Okay.
All right. Well,
have you even seen that movie?
What's that?
The 3 Amigos.
Years ago. I have not seen it recently.
Okay.
So, all right, we're gonna pivot first.
This man El Guapo is not just famous; he's infamous.
All right, that wraps it up for us. Follow my.
Oh, by the way, 120 people on Rumble watching us.
So
we're
thank you.
Slowly growing on there.
Thank you, everyone on Rumble. Appreciate you. If you are at DragonCon this weekend, I will be there tonight. I'm going to be at the Pulse Bar at the Marriott. Follow me on social media. I am that Chris Gore on X, Twitter, and that Chris Gore on Instagram. I have a ton of photos I'm dying to post, including sexy sandworm from Dune. I met her last night. She is chef's kiss gorgeous as sexy sandworm. So I'll be posting tons of stuff on my Instagram and Twitter, and a big panel tomorrow at 4 p.m. On Saturday. Alan?
Just visit filmthreat.com for the latest reviews of indie and big theater films as well.
And are you doing anything this weekend?
I am not. I may be seeing. Something's. They Live is coming out in theaters this weekend. I may go see it.
Yeah, I saw that. I really want. I hope I'm able to check it out. I'll just have to. It's one of those Fathom events.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes,
all right.
It's going to cost you.
All right.
All right.
That wraps it up for today. I'm at DragonCon. Alan?
Let's get out of here.
All right. Let's do it. Okay.